I never thought about it until recently how crucial a sex playlist is. I'm sorry. We can't fuck to Lady Gaga's Abracadabra.
Sam Smith is good to listen to.
I'm not fucking a Sam Smith. Would you ever make love to bongos with Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion?
If I was really, really drunk.
The tea, they talk about everything. Goes on, I'm calling my mom. Paul is here, Barb too, and they talk about everything. Goes on, I'm calling my mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. Welcome again to the Hold On, I'm Calling My Mom podcast. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Paul.
I'm Barb. We're AKA Mom.
AKA Mom, legend, queen, diva, HBIC, superstar, whatever you want to call her on this given day.
That's right.
Hi, Mom. How's it going today?
Okay. How's your day?
I'm good. A bitch is tired, though.
Yeah.
A bitch is tired. You got anything to say?
Yeah. I thought you were going to tell me like a story of why you were tired.
No, but I'm just tired today. I thought maybe you had a little.
No, because I kind of have to agree with you.
I'm
like
just
that,
tired.
Tired. Yeah.
I'm just tired today. You know, when you're trying to be a bad bitch and do all the things, you're trying to look good, you're trying to feel good, you're trying to put in work professionally, personally, all these things, and you just feel like, damn, I'm just tired today. All I wanted was a McDonald's chicken biscuit and a Diet Coke, and I woke up a little too late to get the McDonald's order in. And
I wish McDonald's had breakfast all day.
It's kind of disgusting that they don't. I'm like, why not? Why not?
Because they did do it for a while and then they stopped. And I really feel like they should do it again. Because like, does everybody get up that like before 10 o'clock to go get breakfast at McDonald's?
Even if I woke up at 9 o'clock, I'm not somebody sometimes that needs to always eat as soon as I get up. I like to ease into the day a little bit.
Me too. That's why I'm saying they stop at 10. So if you wake up at 9, it's like you got to jump up and go drive there before. And it's like you don't want it right as soon as you wake up. You want it after a little bit. Maybe like 11-ish or something if you're waking up at 9.
I would just like to ease into the day in bed and eat my chicken biscuit in peace. Like, why do I need to be I don't want to be on a time crunch to eat a chicken biscuit.
I agree 100%. I think McDonald's should go back to it. I agree.
They should. But I'm laughing because I literally just looked down and I see my crotch sitting here, and I'm thinking about our past conversation where you thought that I was flexing and people were laughing about that because Jordy literally walked out here and he's like, oh, I see your dick. And I'm like, I know. I'm like, my mom thought I was like low-key flexing with that. I'm like, girl, no. When you have like balls and all that stuff, it's like it's at the forefront. Like my legs are crossed and I'm like, it's just laying flapped on my my foot right now because there's nothing keeping it into. Like what do you I don't know. Do you like
what? Laying on my foot?
Yes, they're balls.
You don't need to show it.
They're balls. Like, what do you keep making it seem like it's like a flex? I'm like, girl, no, they're flat. It's like if your titty was down there, wouldn't it be leaning on wouldn't it be flapped on your foot? Right?
If you had a titty all the way and you had your legs up and it was laying on your lap or your feet, you better go get it checked
if your titty is where your penis is, just say you got a titty there instead.
Yeah.
Is it not gonna chill on your foot if you're cross-legged?
Yes.
Okay, exactly. Those are what balls are like. They're just flapping around. They're just there doing their thing.
Yeah, I guess that's something I won't ever experience.
Yeah, you keep making it seem like it's this like unrealistic, unfathomable action. I'm like, girl, it's there. Like, what do you mean? And if that's not a great introduction to Pride Month, I don't know what is, because we need to give a clap and a couple snaps to the gays, the allies, the LGBTQ community, our trans sisters out here, our trans brothers out here, the people of the LGBTQ community, because we are very big on allyship in the community, obviously, on this podcast. So we needed to first and foremost address that and say, happy Pride, gays.
Happy Pride Month.
Barb, are you doing a part of your allyship?
Yes. Yeah,
you're on the podcast with me.
That's That's right.
I've been meaning to ask you too, if you, I don't think this is necessarily LGBTQ centered, but your gift that you received a couple weeks ago of the Pitbull tapestry, have we hung that up yet, or where's that at? Is it collecting dust?
Yeah, I have to like get a stool to kind of like get it correct and mark it out on the wall.
Got it. So it's just, where's it at? Is it out of the box or still in the box?
It's out of the box.
Okay. Well, the gift was literally an out of the box idea. So it is
So there. Perfect.
literally and metaphorically, it's out of the box.
It's out of the box.
Okay, great. I love that. I love
That's
that.
right. And that brings us right back to Pride Month.
What, being out of the box, being out of the closet and embracing who you
That's
really
right.
are. I love that.
See?
And also, speaking of another gay ally aside from Pitbull himself, Pitbull's not a gay ally, but we're gonna
I was
throw
just
that
gonna say, is he? I didn't know that about him.
He's not. But speaking of a real gay ally, a gay icon, Judy. Judy, our guest last week on the Hold On, I'm Calling My Mom podcast. Slam fucking dunk.
Yes.
She is that girl. She's got the people talking, reaching out to me saying,
Oh my God. People love Judy.
ate it up.
Hands down. Like people literally want to meet her.
No, I know. I was like, I feel like I might be pushed out of this, and I might become the Barb and Judy podcast.
Or she's going to be our competition.
No, I'm being serious. Like, we need to start cutting out designated segments for her.
Yeah, totally.
It was so sweet. I kept getting like messages. I had somebody send to a friend of mine and was like, oh my gosh, Paul's mom's best friend was on and she was a riot. She was so amazing. I had somebody reach out and be like, oh my gosh, I need Judy. Like, I need a Judy in my life. I need to have a friend like Judy.
Sorry, I'm not Sharon.
Yeah, you're like, Judy's all to myself. And that's why I've had 5 decades worth of friendship for her.
Yeah. And it's funny because she just goes by Judy. Like,
yeah. Well, Judy,
yeah.
Jude.
Mm-hmm. She's like a Madonna or a Cher.
She's just a one name type of girl.
You just say Judy and we all know.
It's Gaga, Madonna, Beyonce, Judy. Cher. We have not announced this on the podcast yet, but everybody knows the experience that we had during the Poconos this past year for Barb's birthday. That I don't know why we thought this would be a good idea, but we were giving the Poconos a second chance.
We are.
In July. Jordan's going to come with us. So I think that's really what sold me, is that, okay, we're bringing Jordy with me. So I'm like, that just feels like it's going to give it a second wind. I feel like
it's a little different atmosphere too. Like, we were log cabin in it, and
we're still in a log cabin, but this one's like
a little more bougier.
Yes, yeah. It's a lakefront property. Like, the backyard's a lake. There's a hot tub.
There's already
like a game room that's in the place.
There's already like a fire pit. Like, the one we had was like just a barrel, and we put wood in it.
Girl, it was given ashtray. It was like an ashtray, and we got to make the best of it. It was
this is a little.
It was low budget.
Yeah, these has chairs around it, and like it's a nice little like patio thingy with it. So yeah, this is much more upscale, bougie kind of Pocono trip.
I just wanted to get away. I said, I felt like the shtick of the Jersey Shore. We've done it.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, we've done the Poconos, but we didn't do it right. And that was the key.
Yeah.
Is we need to crack this and make it good. Like, last time we wanted Barb to like ride horses. That didn't work. When I keep telling people the story about like how Brett literally wouldn't get out of the bed because he was sleeping naked, and he's in a bigger bed than me and you, and then wouldn't move out of the bed or put on underwear for us to share the bed. So he got the bed to himself while me and my mom.
It didn't matter. We lost all electricity anyway.
Well, my menopausal mom is next to me fanning her vag because she's having hot flashes. And I'm like, just freaked out. It's dark. I think someone's going to break into it. There's storms. There's things clanging on the roof.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do this. So we will not be going in that type of direction for this trip. It's definitely going to be giving a new elevated experience, if you will,
And we
So,
like to show Jordy like different parts of this area. So
of
he's been
course.
to the shore, you know what I mean? He knows all of that and like
Yeah.
local and stuff. So now we're going to like bring him up into the Pennsylvania area.
We're culturing that boy. That's all it is.
Yes. Yes.
But we would love to we're going to invite Judy.
We are.
We're going to invite Judy to our Poconos trip. So
Yeah.
I said we might have to pull up shop and start bringing the podcast equipment across the country and film a little episode while we're there for the people.
We might.
We really might have to. I'm not kidding.
Just do a quick couple updates of how's it going.
Yeah, literally.
That'll be it. How's it going? That'll be our.
And just have Judy's real take on everything. Maybe she could go on a couple dates while we're there. You could be her wing woman or vice versa. You guys could find some Poconos locals. So you never know.
You never know.
The men in the woods maybe know how to throw it down. You know, they got a log, they got a saw, a hammer. I don't know. What is it called? An axe. Who knows?
Yeah, that all sounds so
very enticing.
Yeah.
Well, I also had to say too, is that a couple of people that I are friendly with, they're like, oh my gosh, you know what I keep realizing every time I watch the podcast? And I'm like, what? They're like, your mom and use mannerisms and facial expressions, like that clip when Judy revealed that the guy she was like dating from AA just like suddenly died all of a sudden. They're like,
it was very funny. We literally did the same.
We said, oh my gosh, in the same cadence and everything. It was at the same time, or like facial expressions. Like when I make a look, one of my friends was like, that's a Barb. Hold on, I'm calling my mom podcast look. And I'm like, I know, like now I understand why we look exactly the same when we do. Like we're like, what? Like it's that look. Like, huh? Like that? Like what? It's like low-key judging, but also like not, but yes, judging. So that has been.
I agree. For some reason, I after people did that and I watched them or something, I'm like, oh, we really do.
It was brought to my attention too. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm picking up more and more as this podcast is moving along, where I'm like, oh my gosh, like me and my mom were literally the same person doing the same things.
We really are, which is cute.
It is. I know. I
don't want to change that. That's cute.
No, we've been doing, to me, these are our natural expressions. And I'm like, it's going to be
us.
This is who we are, baby. But this is who we are. This is what the Hold On, I'm Calling My Mom podcast is about. And this is what my hold the fuck up moment is going to be for the week on this podcast this week.
Oh, Lord.
Are you ready to hear what I got to say?
Sure. These parts always scare me.
As they should.
I know. All right, go ahead.
So let me tell you something.
My hold the fuck up moment for this week is, it's given major red flag energy to me. If you are a grown adult in the world and you do not have a friend from childhood, you do not have a friend from middle school, you don't even have a friend from high school, shit, you don't even have a friend that you just like your family and you grew up with and you just call that person a cousin. If you don't have any of those things in your current life, in your present life as an adult, I'm giving 2 of these because this is just very alarming to me. This is just.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm sorry. I can't. Red flag energy to me.
I agree.
And I feel like I've gotten like flack for this with other people because I feel like people have been like, no, well, listen, I know that there are different situational circumstances that fall into this. If you're a family that moved around a lot, of course, I understand. It's very difficult.
Yes, there are different circumstances, but in a generalized speaking way, yes.
I'm telling you, though, from my own experience, that if you pull up to me saying you want to be friends or move forward with some type of relationship, and I start getting to know you and I ask the questions of like, oh, like, is that your best friend from home? No, I don't have any friends from back home. Hold up. Hold the fuck up moment. No, you don't have one friend from home? No.
Yeah, when you were younger, to have a friend, even if it's just one from, I don't care, even if it's from college.
See, okay, that's where I'm starting to think. I'm getting older now, so maybe that makes more sense, but college still feels too fresh for me.
Yeah.
College feels like if you told me you have a friend from college and that's your longest standing friendship, that still feels too
That's
early to
still
me.
yes,
Because
that's
that
still
means you
like
develop that friendship like around like 19, 20, I don't know. It
yeah.
feels a little too concerning to me at that point. So the reason I bring this up is because I was listening to a podcast about maintaining old friendships. The expert said that someone who doesn't have any long-term friendships could indicate that they have unrealistic expectations of friendships or they have a hard time maintaining friendships. So to me, when I hear somebody say they don't have long-standing friendships, like now at 32, one of my longest friends I've had since I was like 3 years old, we have grown and evolved. There have been times where we've been very present in each other's lives. There's been times where we have not, but it's always been consistent. To me, that
Yeah.
is like a long-term friendship. So when I hear somebody say to me they don't have that, I think, oh, like they turn over friends quickly. Like it is not an investment for them. Like they're not locked in.
Like
It's just like
why?
it's
Why?
like
Yeah.
seasonal for them. And I can't have that type of friendship. The expert on the podcast noted that some people may not have friends from childhood because they grew up in a town that wasn't like them at all, which I agree. And I understand that. Like a gay kid in a small town, but in
Yeah.
general, they should have picked up some long-term friendships once they are out of that environment. But like people change, so do friends. So I'm like, I understand what that's like to feel, especially as a gay kid, wanting to get out of your environment and not be around those people. But
But
there are,
you still
yeah,
talk to people and you still have long-term friendships.
like there are still people to me that I'm like, oh, like you at least get one or two at least out of a
I
situation, right?
agree.
Like that they
Yes.
see you for you. Like, I would like to say I have a good chunk of girlfriends from back home
That
who,
you all evolved together.
yeah,
Yes.
it's growth. Like they're not the same
Yes.
person that I met when I first met them. But do we think having no friends from childhood to adulthood is a big red flag? I'm saying yes.
I'm saying yes. Because it's almost like there has to be something there. Do you know what I mean? Like
That's not clicking.
that's not clicking, or I don't even know. I just feel like there's something off if you can't connect with one person and have a true friendship and be able to go the ups and downs and everything with that person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how I feel
Yeah.
too.
And even if you have an issue, which we've all had issues with friends or something, that you can talk it out and then become better and move on from it,
It
you
makes
know?
me hesitant to wanna invest in them because I think, "Oh, if you weren't able to do this for the last 20 something years, then why now are you miraculously gonna be able to do it with me?" So it makes me concerned that I don't know, that's been my gauge and barometer when I've been meeting people now is like, if you say to me, "Oh," like, it's almost like dating a new friend. You're like, "Oh, so, like, tell me about your longest, like, friendship." "Oh, like 2 years." I'm like, okay, I'm running in the opposite direction. We cannot be friends. We are
Yeah,
not the
because it
same.
all right, because then it almost is like, what's wrong with you that you can't keep a friend for that long?
Are you
There
toxic as fuck and you just ruin
yeah,
every relationship?
yes. Do you know
I
what I
mean,
mean? Like you have to start thinking to yourself, why can't I keep relationships with a friend?
yes, and I'm it can't be the it's not it's
Yeah,
the
it
it's
can't be always them. There has to be a
that's what
little
I'm
bit of
saying.
you. Yes.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. Are we just loyalists too, where some people don't appreciate loyalty and they don't look at it the same way that we do? Sometimes I think that could be the case, right?
Yeah, but there has to be one. Like,
That's how I feel too.
yeah. I don't think we're wrong. I don't think
Yeah, we're never wrong though.
no. So true. That's true. I mean, move on. We figured it out. We're right.
We're figuring it out that if you don't have any friends from childhood, not one from the very beginning, we're running in the opposite direction and we cannot be friends.
Red flag.
Bye. Bye.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of loyalists, I have a fun game that I want to play with you that involves loyalty. But since you were on this new trajectory of single girl lifestyle and getting out here, I had this moment pop up in my head. So I wanted to put you in my shoes and run these scenarios with you. So let's take it to our segment, Would You Ever?
Okay.
A sex play.
My heart starts palpitating.
I know. Why are you getting so
because
nervous?
I just want to let the viewers know I don't know what his
You have no
topics
idea.
are when he comes on.
You have no idea.
So,
No idea.
I have no idea. So when you see the face or the rolling of the eyes, it's because I don't know what's about to come out of his mouth.
the power and control of the creative freedom I have on this podcast is so, and I'm enthralled by it. It's so, it gives me my full
really
purpose
is.
in life.
Again, I come,
Look pretty and is
and
technologically declined, but she gets here somewhere or another. So when you're single, right? Not even just being single in a relationship. This is from my own lived experience. When me and Jordan are having some quality one-on-one time, if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. A sex playlist is crucial. I never thought about it until recently, how crucial a sex playlist is. You know, we had music on, we were like watching music videos, and then like, you know, one thing led to another, and it's like, I'm sorry, we can't fuck to Lady Gaga's Abracadabra. Like I'm drawing, like this can't be it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I never thought of it like that, but it's almost like I start laughing. I'm sorry, if Lady Gaga's Born This Way comes on, I can't like commit to the bit. Like I can't be in it with you if like Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA is on. Like those are things that are just not going to happen.
You need some Marvin Gaye and
no, I can't.
Some Luther Vandross.
Like I really sat and thought like how important this is and crucial to your moment. Like your whatever you call, what do you want to call it? Your like little sexy time, your little
like, yeah,
your little put this pussy on a moment, your little
just a little moment.
Okay, a little moment. So
moment.
like, so in your little moment, right? Like this is a crucial thing. And I started noticing it the older that I get, because I feel like me and Jordy are very much like set the mood. It's got to feel right. It's like, it's fun. Like that's what sex in those moments are. They're like fun, intimate moments. You should not like, shouldn't be robotic or mechanical.
No.
But mood.
And it should have, there should be longer moments like with music and stuff like that, and then there's those little shorter, quicker moments.
I just believe in a full production. The mood, the lighting, the ambiance, the music, it's got to be on. Sure, those unexpected moments, we love them, but like, you know, building up to it, we like, I like a presentation, right? So I'm sitting there thinking the one night while it was happening, it just so happened to be the first song that came on was like Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion, like WAP. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't, I'm not doing this, right? Like I'm laughing, like it's funny.
Yeah, I know. That's
so,
that's like where you sit and you want to start like doing this.
Yeah, I'm like, I want to call it like start like being out with my friends and like, like that's not the vibe. My sex playlist, I feel like, is like a nice, like something like a Disclosure or like a Rufus Du Sol, something with like
some Ed Sheeran.
No, girl, you want to fuck to Ed Sheeran?
Yeah, he has some pretty love songs, like down, like low kind of beat.
No.
Oh, yes.
I'll be damned. I'll be damned.
Yes.
No. I like something that's got like a beat to it. Something that's like, you know, Latch by like Sam Smith and Disclosure. Latch.
Oh, yeah.
Like that beat. That's a song that I know that you know that is like that kind of taste of music.
Yeah.
Something with like that beat.
Sam Smith is good to listen to.
I'm not fucking a Sam Smith. No. I feel weird. I don't want to. No. I don't want like deep lyrics like that.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I would think. Like you want some deep loving.
No, I must feel
kind of, but with a little. Sam Smith is a soft kind of, but with a little bit of beat, but like a nice, smooth, like like with good wording and stuff. What's that? Name with me. Oh,
girl, you want that song?
Yeah.
Stay with me. You want someone to take you to. You want someone to take you to Pound Town with "Stay with Me" by Sam Smith?
Yeah, that's like intimate and sweet. Like "Stay with Me."
Oh my gosh, what movie are you in? Like, what are you like this when it's? and the lighting's hitting you and there's a wind blowing. Like where do you think you are? A movie set? I like a sultry, upbeat,
Yes. Yes.
like you can
Sultry. That's a
feel
good
that
word for it.
there's
Yeah.
like it's like sexually
Yes.
liberating, but it's fun. You could play it
Like
at like
sexual feelings.
yeah, something like
That's
it.
an old school one.
But so
That
okay, like,
line isn't that Lionel Richie?
you're asking the wrong person.
Yeah, I think
I
that's Lionel Richie.
I was born in 1992, honey.
Sexual feeling, yeah, that sexual healing.
So my question for you, what is your laying it on playlist? What are you saying it is? Like, so
I would say that song, Sexual Healing by Marvin Gaye.
okay, so Barb's gonna lay it down
Yeah.
to a little sexual healing Marvin Gaye.
Yeah. Don't stop believing.
You would get it on to Journey's Don't Stop Believing. Girl, goodbye.
No, kidding.
Goodbye. So give me 3 songs that you're adding to
Oh,
your
that's a good one. I wish I knew ahead of time because now I got to think about it.
So Marvin Gaye Sexual Healing is on your Make Love playlist.
I would have to do one of Luther's. I'm trying to think of who the third one would be.
Matchbox 20.
I mean, I was going to say that, but then I'm like, do you really what Matchbox 20?
Maybe some of the songs.
Yeah, because that would be definitely like some of, yeah.
Okay, so your Make Love playlist would entail 3 artists as of right now: Luther Vandross, Marvin Gaye, and Matchbox 20.
Yes.
What
That's
would it take, girl?
What? That's a lot. That's very,
No
yeah.
wonder why it's just you and Big Blue. Shit, that's a hot ass mess. That's almost as bad as
I know, but that's a good. I have to.
No,
Like,
there's good.
I'm going to. I'll say those 3, but I'm going to tell you, I'm coming back to that one next week.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give you like
Better
really better ones because
she's gonna go. She's gonna go practice and come back to us. Okay.
Because I'm like, I know there's songs in my head, so I want to come back. They're my 3 right now, but I'm gonna revisit that next week.
Okay.
And give you top 3, and then if everybody else they can chime in and text their like top 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask people on our socials what their Make Love playlist would be.
Yeah, totally.
But for the
they might be something that I didn't think of and be like, oh yeah, totally.
But for the sake of the would you ever, is that I'm gonna go through a scenario since we've gotten your 3 and it's a little rough of the variety that we got. And we're gonna ask you, would you ever make love to these songs? Okay.
Okay.
Would you ever make love to Taylor Swift's Blank Space?
I don't know if that's a nah.
No?
No. That's wouldn't put me like, yeah. Next.
That wouldn't put you in the mood?
Yeah, that just wouldn't, I don't know. That just wouldn't be something that I would listen to. Yeah.
Would you ever make love to Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA?
No, that's too bebop. Like, I'd be like, Party in the USA. Like,
you'd be getting into it.
Yeah, I'd be wanting to sing and dance. I love Party in the USA. I love Miley. Just let's make that clear also.
Make that clear, Barb. We don't want the fans coming after you.
I know. Or Miley. If you're out there listening.
She's definitely
love you.
She's definitely listening to the Hold On, I'm Calling My Mom podcast. Would you ever make love to bongos with Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion?
If I was really, really drunk.
Barb said, my back shots sound like bongos. Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. Would you ever make love to Jessica Simpson's With You?
Yeah, that would be a good one.
You would make love to Jessica Simpson's With You?
Yeah. That's
with you.
Like,
with
yeah,
you.
That would be like a nice mellow kind of. Yeah, that would be cute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you ever make love to your boy and Kesha with Timber?
No.
Why?
Because that's not a song for that.
Girl, you gave us 2 different you gave us a yes and a no. So you would make
No.
Okay. Are you sure?
No, that's not like, yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any like Pitbull songs that would kind of be like.
Would you ever make love to Little Kim's featuring Cisco How Many Licks?
No. No.
Why?
I don't know. That's just, I don't know if that's like.
You don't have that type of dirty energy into you to throw your hair back and do How Many Licks?
Yeah.
Would
like
you?
I feel like there's two different playlists, to be honest. It's a more intimate, like real down low. You got the candles lit, you're making a mood, or you got, your other playlists that you're like dancing on the pole, starting to whip the hair around, kind of, you know what I mean? That
Got
kind
it. Like your
yeah.
freak nasty playlist, and then like a sensual playlist.
Yes. Right?
Yeah, I feel like there could be variations of it, but there's just some songs that I strictly would not. I'm not fucking to Party in the USA by Miley. Sorry.
That's not a song on either list. Yes.
Would you ever make love to Sam Smith and Normani's Dancing with a Stranger?
Oh yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's sensual. That's a nice flow, but you got a little beat in there too.
Yes. Yeah. Last one. Would you ever make love to Rihanna's Pondé Replay?
Oh. I mean, I feel like that could be like thrown in there, kind of.
It could be like just a little scattered hit thrown in there.
Yeah. Just to like pump up the mood a little bit and then go
go back to Sam Smith. So you could throw in Rihanna and then go back to Sam Smith. There you go. Okay. Yeah. I see your tactics, girl. I see how you move in the bedroom. Okay. Well, this man is gonna need quite the eclectic taste.
Yes, I agree.
So I need you to circle back, because now
I'm going to circle back because I really want to pick some good to give my variation of like music kind of that
because that I don't know, I was feeling you with the Luther Vandross and the Marvin Gaye, but you lost me at Matchbox 20. That's felt
why I'm like, I don't know if that's what I would go to, and then I'm thinking, oh, there's
I don't know, but
like and then I was like, Led Zeppelin came into my mind about a couple songs, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, I don't know,
but I could see you like being in the rain and the rain's dripping outside, and
it's 3
a.m. and I'm feeling lonely.
Yeah, that's. But then again, you got to watch what song you put on, because then you start getting into the song and want to sing it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It throws the whole mood. You're like, is this a parade for me, or is it like, and we in this together? Exactly.
Yeah,
it's a whole different ball game.
I agree.
Well, I'm glad that we were able to look into that for you, because I feel like
I want to
give you a palate cleanser for that. So if you're listening, please suggest some songs to Barb to get down to. She needs some good songs. She needs some sensual ones. She needs some Rihanna up in there. She needs a little thing. She needs a little mix of everything.
Pat Benatar, little heartbreaker.
There you go. Yeah. We need to make Barb the ultimate make love playlist. So please drop your recommendations.
Yes, I like that idea.
Since we're on and we're never getting away from the topic of you dating, as it is our story arc on the Hold On, I'm Calling My Mom season 2.
You know how much I like things all about me.
You love it. She's an attention whore. We have brought on Brett, my brother, and Jordan, my boyfriend. This is Jordan's first time on the Hold On, I'm Calling My Mom podcast, which I'm very excited about. And I want to play a little game just to kind of, set the vibes of also not only showcasing our dynamic amongst each other, because my mom goes to the boys for different reasons. She knows who's going to give her what. Everybody plays a significant role in her life. But
and I'd be curious we're going to ask each one of you is what role we think each one of you guys are.
Yeah.
That you are in my life.
Yeah, 100%. Also, just hearing how the first time you met Jordy and just how your relationship has evolved. And, ultimately seeing the kind of man or men that you would end up with.
You three are the men in my life. Yeah.
Yes, the men in your life want to see are going to talk about what kind of men they foresee you being with in your future.
Yes.
So I'm excited about this. We're keeping it in the fam this week. So please welcome to the podcast, Jordan and Brett. Okay, so we've been waiting to do this episode with Brett and Jordan since the beginning of time. I feel like since like season 1, we've never had an official Brett and Jordy moment where they're on the podcast together. So I was like, if anybody knows my mom as well as I do, it might be these two. Maybe not still at the level that I know you, because obviously I know you the most, but like Brett and Jordy, I would say are like next in command. So I was like, we need to do an episode with Brett and Jordy together. So let's give us a little round of applause for having them pop their little podcast cherry. Well, Jordy's podcast cherry right here.
Yay.
Thank
Welcome,
you.
Jordan. Welcome, Brett.
Thank you. Welcome, Brett.
Well, I said Brett's already been on. Brett's been around he already understands.
Yeah, Brett has like legit popped in, but this is like a whole segment.
This is the 4 of us. This is happening.
I know.
This is happening.
As you guys know, is her doing the podcast of Finding Love.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, if anybody's going to keep it real with Barb and give her the honest truth and keep it 100, it's going to be either me, maybe Brett, and Jordy. So we're going to definitely...
So I'm scared today because everybody's going to be blowing me up. What?
Exactly. I said we're going to hold you accountable and put your feet to the fire. But I said we have to set up everyone's different relationship with Barb, because I feel like she each has a different relationship with everybody on here.
Right.
Did you even say hi?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
I went.
Everyone gave me a round of applause,
Okay.
and then I accepted it.
Okay, good. So with my mom, if she wants some sound advice and she wants somebody to like give it to her straight, she's coming to me. I'm giving it to her like as real as possible. I'm holding her accountable. She's going to Brett if she wants to be enabled.
That's bullshit. Okay.
And she's going
I
to...
don't know. He called me out the other night too.
I just do it in a gentle way. You do it in a little more of a forceful way. We go about it different, but we definitely call her out for things.
Yeah.
See? He does call her out.
And Jordy, you would go to if you want like a plan of action, if you want something executed, you want to know how to do something from point A to point Z. That's who you're calling Jordy for.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
funny jokes.
Of course.
And entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, you each have like a different relationship with all of us, but I feel like we all in some way, shape, or form can like bust on you, keep it real, like hold you accountable. So I was like, oh, it'd be funny to have all of us on here talking about your...
Funny for who?
For us and the people that are listening.
The viewers.
Yeah, it's all for pure entertainment for them.
Yeah.
To have
Shout out to the viewers.
Shout out to the viewers. And having... I know, this is a big deal that you're on.
They've never seen me.
I
I'm
know.
Rio.
He lives. He is.
Real love.
Well, there was like 2 people that I introduced Jordy to this week that I've known for a very long time, and they were like, I was starting to think that he wasn't real. Like,
It's a
Figment of your mind.
Figment of your imagination.
So I brought him to meet 2 different people, and he's on the podcast.
Damn, what a week you've had.
I've been really making the rounds. It's like
Yeah.
a press tour.
It is.
I know.
Can't wait-
It's
I
like
can't wait for it to end.
you're new to the family or something that you're just
Yeah.
being introduced to people.
He just hired you.
Yeah. I've kicked the can down the road too far, and finally I just had to suck it up.
He had to
And,
surrender.
yeah.
Well, speaking of, since he's new to the family, do you remember the first time you met Jordy?
Yes.
You almost shit your pants.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
That
didn't
was her
almost
time.
shit my pants. I
She was-
had an ulcer. We went to his work the night before when he used to
Oh, yeah.
serve. And
He
it
drank
was,
wine.
yes, and
and
we had
pizza.
something spicy, and we had spicy margaritas, or we had lots of spice, and it did not settle well. And the next day I had such bad like reflux and stuff. It was giving me like chest pain. So
There's a lot of stomach issues going on that day. if I
yeah,
remember.
really, you're gonna bring up my stomach
Yeah.
issue
There's a couple things that day.
Yeah.
that day?
What was wrong with mine?
You had Giardia.
Yeah, Giardia. You got to call your doctor on the phone.
You were having a conversation with your doctor.
Your bowel movements.
No, no. That's not what. So,
Is it green or pink? What color?
What? Is it soft or hard?
How many times a day?
How does it sound?
So my mom and Brett were in town. It was when me and Jordy first started like seeing each other. I was going through a little situation of my own where my stomach was a little tore up and I didn't know what was going on. So the day that we planned to go to the beach and had this beautiful beach day and enjoyed the vitamin D and the sunlight and the West Coast, we get down to the beach and it's like a sandstorm.
We could literally hear it.
But the car was moving. The car was moving, and I had
sand. Yeah. We tried to get out, and we were like,
I had to have a call with my GI doctor, and I thought, oh well, if I can't move this appointment. If we're at the beach, I can just step away and do it. Well, the universe was like, bitch, I think the fuck not. So then we were stuck in the car together, and the doctor is asking me on the call, like, so what are your bowel movements like? So are they like this? Are they heavy?
You're like 3 times a day.
I'm like, yeah, because I'm like, I'm not
diarrhea, and you're like, no.
Well, because I was like, I'm not gonna like say this on the phone with him. I don't want him hearing what I'm doing in the bathroom. So I was like trying to like beat around the bush, and I'm like, that one. So yeah, it was not a good situation in that moment. So then while that was happening, you're hurled over in back of the car, like, I need to go. I need to get out of here. We need to go. She's like silent in back of the car. She's like hunched over. She's like, I need a bathroom. I need a CVS. I need a CVS. I need to go.
I needed Tums or something for reflux. I was like this. Like it was like taking my breath away.
And here I'm thinking the whole dude has got Giardia from this guy. They're all eating the same guy's ass.
And look, you're still here all with us.
That's right. At that point, he was like, Jesus, what the hell did I get into?
I would have left.
No, but it was just like the urgency and the drama with my. She's like,
I was not.
Yes,
I literally sat back.
She said, I'm lightheaded, just standing up.
Yeah, she was on the back, curled over. She was grabbing on the thing that you like hang your clothes on.
And I was just like this.
Yes. So I literally remember looking, thinking, you got to be kidding me. I just had that call happen. My mom's going to shit herself in the back of my boyfriend's car seat. This is insane.
But it didn't happen.
And here we are. So if that doesn't really set the tone of our relationship dynamics and how open and honest we all are with each other, what does, right?
That's right.
We didn't have any choice.
Yeah, what was your first impression of my mom?
I don't know. I don't feel like I'm the type of person that like judges. Like I don't like meet somebody and like think about it.
That means he hated her.
He said, when an overbearing, over-involved, needy, codependent bitch.
No. I'm trying to think back.
No, that wasn't this boyfriend. That was another one.
I just thought she was nice. Yeah, nice.
Okay.
She's a nurse.
She's a nice nurse. Got it.
She's a nice nurse lady.
Okay.
Who has
with IBS.
Yeah.
And reflux.
Yeah.
Mom, what was your first impression of Jordan?
Oh, I liked him. He was quiet at first. Yeah. I liked him. He was very sweet, and I could see that it was more like how he was with you, how he interacted. Mm-hmm. Like he was very touchy. Yeah. And it was nice to see you have that.
Aww.
Yeah.
I'm very shy at the usually I'm pretty shy at first.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think it's shy.
My impression was very like
he was not like reserved, but he was a little bit reserved, I felt like.
Yeah. I'm like if I walk into a room and I don't know anybody, like I'm not gonna be like, "Hi, I'm Jordan. Such a nice pleasure."
You just did it yesterday.
Only out of necessity.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like I can do it. I just prefer not to do it.
Yeah. And then now look at him.
Brett, what was your first impression of Jordy?
Same. He was quiet, but like I feel like I liked that how he was treating you. So like I liked him for that. the first car ride, he did turn off the music that I liked, but it's okay. I wanted the Legally Blonde song that he was playing, but he said skip. So that was a little bit of a red flag for me. But other than that, I did like him.
He put his shows.
He was like, I was like, oh, I love this song. He went, click.
I actually kind of remember that.
Wait, it was a Legally Blonde song and I skipped it?
Mm-hmm.
What song?
I feel like it was maybe like Oh My God or something like that.
Oh.
That one's up for...
That one's for the locals. We gotta skip. We'll skip that one and go right to the good stuff.
Wait, so what was your first impression of Brett?
That he was your brother. I don't really remember. That's the thing is like I don't really like. I don't know. I feel like I don't like when I meet people. I don't like make like a definitive like this is them.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't anything bad. There wasn't any red flags. I'm that way with like people I would like be a potential like love interest. Like if I go on a date,
well, I
like
think
the first thing I'm looking at is like what they're wearing, their shoes for sure, how they've styled themselves.
Well, I mean, we're talking about like Jordy just brought up a great point. He said he clocks what someone looks like on a date, what they're bringing to the table, if they have style, if they got the vibe,
style,
shoes.
first thing.
With this journey that we're going on the season 2 arc of Hold On, I'm Calling My Mom podcast, we have not gotten Brett's take on this. We have not gotten Jordan's take on this. Brett, what does it look like for you to see mommy like dating? Like, what does that look like genuinely? Like, what do you see? What's like how do you envision it? What are you seeing in it? Like, what does that look like to you?
I feel like someone who will like take care of her and like someone who like she can go out and like do things she's always like wanted to do that she couldn't before. It's like traveling, like I don't know, I feel like she'd want someone to go take her out like dancing or like to nice restaurants or just like do like she likes outdoors and stuff like that, like the beach. So I feel like someone to do like things she's never experienced yet. Someone's gonna like push her forward, I guess, basically, instead of like holding her back.
Okay. Do you envision the guy, what he looks like, what he does for a living? Have you manifested that far? Have you thought that out?
See, the person like I picture in my head is always Sunny from the soap opera she watches. What's it called?
General
Hospital. That's the guy I always think of in my head. Huh?
Sunny Corinthos?
Yeah, that's who I always think of in my head, to be honest.
You
do. That's the guy.
All right. Well, I'll
just
take
like
that.
Older, like not complete silver fox, but like grays.
No,
but he has
Sunny's
like
nice looking.
Yeah. So that's the person I picture.
Okay, so Sunny Corinthos is who your man is for mommy. Got it. Okay. What do you think? Because Jordy can be honest with us and thinking sometimes maybe the expectations are a little like far gone. Maybe we're dreaming a little too far. Maybe we're like creating something that's unreal. So I'm curious of what he thinks.
I mean, I don't think anything's like out of the realm of possibility. I think sometimes everyone's interpretation is like, they're really, really rich, they're really, really handsome, and they're really, really nice. And while that might exist somewhere, it's probably like not going to be all three of those things at once.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what we aim for.
So would you rather Barb be with a brokey, but he's handsome?
I'd rather be with someone that is, well, Barb's got it locked down on her own. She's a nurse. She's making her own money. So she doesn't need the man. She doesn't. I mean, we all need a rich man, like, and we are a rich other. Like, a man could get a rich woman if he wanted. Yeah, like it'd be nice to be supported that way, but it's not a necessity. I think you look for someone who is, I mean, she's already done the path of like, oh, this is the relationship path that I think I'm supposed to take. So like now let's like throw that out the window and like just do what is good for your life. So if that's a guy who happens to be really, really rich, that's fine. But I think Brett is right when he says like someone that like wants to go out and do stuff and like the outdoors and is fun loving, and you know, your mom's like fun. She likes to be like go out and like chill, but she also likes to have a fun time and laugh. So like whoever that person is, as long as they're not like
broke,
not supporting them. Obviously, we want them to be self-sufficient, but they don't need to be a trillionaire.
No,
that's the.
But if they are, we will welcome them.
You get 15 seconds
Everybody describe what her ideal man is. I'm going to go first.
Okay.
I'm saying a guy who works in finance. He makes 7 figures, lives in California, has been married, has kids, is a very progressive, open-minded individual who's older than my mom and can provide some
Time.
All right, Brett.
All right. Let me know when I can go.
Now.
Someone who wants to go out and elevator, have fun, push her out of her comfort zone. Sonny, whatever his name is, from the soap opera General Hospital. A nice guy.
Time.
Yeah,
that's good. That was good. Good job, Brett.
All right, Jordan, go.
I gotta take a deep breath because I want to get it all out. I'm nervous. The timer made me nervous. Someone who's at roughly like a similar life inflection point as Barb. Maybe they're in a transitionary period from the first part of their life to the next part of their life, and they can identify with that and help push each other and enjoy each other for the rest of their lives.
Period.
Aw, that's nice, all of you.
See how deep and
If I could get a little bit of each
person,
each what
I know,
you say.
How nice. That's so beautiful. Everybody loves you and has an imagination of who they foresee you with.
But it's nice because like each one of what you said, each part of like a little bit of what each of you said is that person that I would think of too.
So this leads me in to our segment that I thought would be a brilliant and fun game to really showcase the open forum that we have with one another of playing a game called WTF Would Mom Do? Okay. So the game where my mom thinks she's serving thoughtful queen energy, but actually is given red flag energy and trauma bonding, if you will. Okay. So
all right,
we have our paddles today. Everyone has one. We have our green paddle and we have our red paddle. Green is for it's a pass. We're loving it. It's good. Red is giving girl what? Okay. Because let's be honest, mom was in a long, not so great relationship. And now that she's finally out, it's our job to lovingly roast you on these old habits, if you will, right? Mm-hmm. So we're doing that before you carry that into your next future relationship. So we're going to nip it in the butt now. Okay.
I love that. All right.
Okay.
You love that.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give everybody scenarios and they're going to raise their paddle to what it is. Say it out loud for the people who are just listening and not watching. Make sure they know and they're in on it. Everyone's going to go around and discuss why. Okay.
Okay.
And then mom, you can agree and disagree to each, if you will. So these are scenarios that I brought up, possibly on lived experience for inspiration to see what you think. Okay.
Okay.
So this is WTF Would Mom Do? Your partner, who has never done anything wild with his appearance, suddenly dyes his hair, pierces both ears, and starts talking about getting a tattoo. No warning, just vibes. What the F would mom do?
That's a red flag for me.
Okay, unanimously again, red X's across. I'm going to say that it's a red X for me because that feels like it's a cry for help. And it goes a lot deeper than just the appearance. Like, why are we frosting our tips at 40? Why are we piercing ears like we want to be a member of NSYNC or Backstreet Boys? Why are we using LA looks for hair products for our gel and it's like crispy look? Like, why are we doing this? Like, this is deeper and we need to confront the issues head on. So to me, it's screaming big issue.
Well, I would just be upset that they didn't ask my opinion.
About what?
Do you think I would look good with my ears pierced, frosted tips, and a tattoo? They just got him without even asking.
They didn't check in with you, so you'd be upset. If I did that, you'd be upset.
It'd be weird. It'd seem out of character.
If Paul would go back to being blind, you would.
Hell the fuck no. I'd say don't go back and you're gonna put it brown again. There's something about a gay man who dyes his hair blonde that is just unsettling to me.
Really?
It's a cry for help.
It's just like
it's a cry
I don't
help.
know. It's just strange.
Yes, it is.
It's just
it's an emotional period where it's something deep.
Everyone's looking around. They look like Danny Phantom. You got all these gays dyeing their hair blonde. I'm like, that's not a thing for me.
Or my mom and Brett.
No, they're just saying they think it looks good. That doesn't surprise me because I've seen them also have things that they thought looked good that also don't look good.
He's saying you have questionable taste.
Okay.
Wow.
Like the only person that can dye their hair blonde and have dark brown eyebrows is Cher. That's it.
Okay. Cher gets the pass.
Because she's Cher. Okay. But you ain't Cher.
Brett,
Sure.
is this what's your stance on this?
I'm giving this a red flag
Why?
because I agree with you guys that it is like a cry for help. It's giving like midlife crisis kind of. It's like something's abnormal. I'm making weird, reckless decisions.
Period. It's out. Just it's a no across the board.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely saying something's going on.
Mom, this is the stuff that you used to justify, but really it was giving you anxiety, so you said nothing. So let's say that happens again. You see a man go from accountant to Avril Lavigne. What are you doing?
Probably going to this time maybe have a discussion about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the first thing you do? You sit them down and say, "Hey, I noticed something."
Yeah. Yeah. Like, hey, is there anything you want to talk about? Is there things going on you want to talk about?
I noticed your four-lip piercing. Is something going on here?
Did the clerk at Claire's ask any questions when you were buying your earrings?
Well, you can ask someone those questions, but
What's the name of your 24-year-old girlfriend?
Are you going to sit down with them with the receipt from Piercing Pagoda and ask them why they have this?
Like, cool look, but what's going on?
like, hey,
I don't think that's the best.
Well, I'm confused. Is this a real scenario?
Yes.
Did the
Yeah.
person acknowledge the changes, or they just came in and were like, hey?
Just kept going.
Go ahead, Mom. Tell the story.
Yeah, no story.
I mean, I'm trying even to think because who did the frostings? Do we remember?
He did or you did. Someone did.
I
My
didn't do them.
dad out of nowhere, all of a sudden wanted to pierce his ears, frost his hair. He started looking like a boy band member in the early 2000s, and it was weird.
He was wearing
Vocalize
these
that.
boobies, like these hoops right here on his ear.
It was weird. It was like he pierced his own ear. It was bizarre.
Yeah. But I don't know who did the hair.
I was too young, I think, to like
You
remember.
can
who
frost
did
your
that.
own tips. It's not that hard.
No,
But for
he
him,
didn't
that's-
do it.
That's
So where
weird.
did he go to buy that and do that? He was in the bathroom himself doing that?
No, that's what I mean. I'm like, I don't know if he
So what
Here,
kind of
this-
wife were you not even clocking your man knowing
Yeah.
where he's getting his hair frosted at?
because it just was like one time and then it just grew out. He wasn't continuous. Like he
But
did it
you
and then
didn't
it was,
clock it and say, where did you just come from having blonde highlights? Like you paid money at like Salon Lyse getting this done?
I don't even remember.
I feel like that's something he did in the bathroom himself, to be honest. I don't think he went anywhere to do that.
So let's reiterate this to everybody listening and watching. These are all real life scenarios, okay? And they might be presented in dramatizations, but they're all from real life lived experience.
Yeah.
So Barb, are you giving this a green pass or are you giving this a red X in your new future relationship if this were to happen?
A red X
Okay.
because
Yes.
yeah, that's some red flags. That's like a conversation that needs to be had of what's going on and who did that to your hair. And I want to
Yeah.
see receipts from
Claire's.
Claire's.
Yeah.
Aren't they out of business?
I don't know. It's called icing now. No, Claire's is still going.
Yeah, Claire's is still there.
That's where Brett gets all his jewelry.
This is my favorite one. It's your first date. He pulls up to pick you up. He gets out of the car to greet you. His pants are unbuttoned. He's got a cigarette tucked behind his ear. And there's a half-eaten bag of pretzels in the passenger seat. What the F would mom do? Are you getting in the car? What's going on here?
I'm gonna say green.
Brett, what are you giving?
Red?
Okay. I'm giving it a red flag because first impressions, whether we want to admit it or not, are everything. And you got to get the look right. I'm sorry. If you come showing up like you don't give a fuck, then I don't give a fuck. And I sure as hell am not getting in your car because if your car looks like that and you look like that, I can't even imagine what your house and how you operate as a human. So you're all the way the fuck out in my
Yeah.
opinion.
If they're already coming out of the car disheveled,
Looking a hot ass mess out.
It's not a good
like
look.
it's not a good
No.
look. I don't know if they're seconds.
Well, I guess I missed the first date part of it. So if it was a first date,
It's your first date. He pulls
yeah,
up-
if it's
yeah.
a first date, red. But if it's just like a regular, like you've been together for a minute, like then it's gonna be green for me. Because like, I mean,
Yeah, no,
you guys
it's-
know me.
yeah.
Like I had to drive down to Orange County, and I was going to see Mamma Mia with a friend. We were really excited, and I was out after work, and LA traffic made it a 2.5 hour drive. And so, I had to pee on the way there. I was stuck in the express lanes. I couldn't get off. And so I had to pee in a bottle while I was driving.
So it's
And so I pulled up to Mamma Mia with my pants all the way down. And there was people all dressed nice for the theater. And I pulled up to the parking attendant, had to cover it up.
Oh, yeah, he did.
I was very disheveled when I pulled up. And I hope it wasn't my fault.
You just had to really pee.
Right.
I was on a journey. I had a half-eaten pretzels in there. I had a snack.
Did?
Yeah, I gotta have a snack on the way. My tummy grumbling in the middle of Mamma Mia.
Did you have a cigarette behind your ear?
I was just gonna say, what about the cigarette behind the ear?
I had a joint behind my ear.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, because I needed to relax once I got there.
Okay, This is the first date.
Yeah, the first date, no.
Okay.
First
Brett,
date, no.
No, absolutely not.
but I do love your corroboration on that.
Yeah, me
And
too.
I
Yeah.
do too.
Always seen the good in people. We love that.
So, Brett, why?
I think this cigarette alone would just turn me off.
Period.
So, Mom, this is the type of guy I used to give the benefit of the doubt because he made you laugh. But now, Mom, we don't get in cars with cigarettes, cosplay, and snack chaos. So be honest. The new you, what's the move? Call an Uber and back him in before the hummus arrives?
Oh, yeah. If it's a first date and he came to pick me up.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would I say?
What would you do? Would you get in the car? Are you calling an Uber? Are you saying, sorry, this isn't for me? What's happening?
Yeah, would you still go on the date? Or would you be like, oh, but still go on the date? Or would you be like, oh, I shit my pants. I gotta go inside. Sorry.
I mean, knowing me, I'd probably still go on the date.
Yeah, you would.
Knowing me, because I want
She loves a free dinner. Doesn't matter who it's from.
You're only going to Outback.
Yum, the
yeah,
bread.
and then
bread.
just make small talk and then
With what?
be done.
Why are you wasting your time?
This is your mother. That's crazy.
I mean,
And
as
then what do
someone,
you say when they come then? I don't think this is gonna work. Like right to them.
I mean, if they come showing up like that, I'm sorry.
what if they recover it and they're like, oh, Barb, I'm so sorry. I look like a hot mess, but I just had a long day at work.
Okay,
I
would-
mean, no, because that means you threw me in last minute and you didn't want to sit and impress me.
Yeah. Well, it makes me also think like, if you're doing this for your first date, what's the rest of my life gonna look like?
it's gonna look, it's given down.
Well,
Yeah.
so your mom's saying thumbs down to the guy, but she's still going on the date, is what I think she's saying.
Yeah, but why? I'm like,
Because
I don't even want to talk to you if you look like
Yeah,
see, that's how I am, though.
If I drove myself and we like met
he
there,
just showed up at your house. So you're saying now I'll meet you there?
Yeah, you have to.
You're
yeah,
not
I'm
getting-
not having someone pick me up at my house on no first dates.
He pulls up to pick you up. So that's the scenario.
Yeah, then I would be like, oh no, he knows where I live, and now I'm gonna like.
I'd be like, oh, I forgot something in the house.
No, she's saying she would go on the date. He knows where he lives now. She knows where he knows where she lives. She's like not gonna rock the boat. She's gonna be like, this guy's a mess, but I better go on this date because I don't want to piss him off.
That's scary. Absolutely not.
And
All right,
then
so we still got to work on the people pleaser elements of this. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's fine. We'll get there. All right. So now-
that's a hard one. Yes.
and now he's at the. So you're saying you're gonna go on the date?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what she said.
I mean, I don't know what else I would do.
It's okay, Barb. I've been on some dates where I should have left at the beginning, but I stayed for the whole date too. It's just something you just like
Yeah.
do. It's
Yeah.
something you do.
I just a cigarette behind the ear, pants unbuttoned, and pretzels in the car. You're saying I'm still gonna go on the date? That is crazy.
I mean, at least there's pretzels.
That's really crazy.
There's a snack.
Okay, so he picked you up, but now this is a new man. You're at his house for the first time. You notice one of the ceiling tiles is out of place. Naturally, you adjust it, and a stack of old adult magazines come tumbling down. He says, oh, that must have been from the guy who owned the house before me. Couldn't be mine. WTF would mom do? Are you buying that excuse? Are you getting up and grabbing your purse? I'm going green.
I put green up.
Everybody agreeing.
All the men answered yes because
I don't know. That's hard.
What's
Well,
hard
why is
about
there a
it?
ceiling
They have
tile in his house?
magazines.
I
Who
know, but,
cares? They
like-
have magazines.
It's also
why
like,
is there a ceiling tile in his house? He lives at an old CVS. What the
well,
hell?
why is it paper magazines? It's also 2025. I'm like,
Because
he's
maybe they're
old.
old.
okay.
Yeah.
And he's embarrassed, so he makes up an
okay.
excuse.
I'll go with green.
No, I'm taking it back. I'm doing red because she shouldn't even be with somebody, right, that has dropped ceilings with tiles in it anyway.
Well,
So
that was
no.
a weird scenario. It's like
The
almost like
tiles.
What's a real scenario? It happened in my house. So we had the drop ceilings in our basement, and somebody was over reconstructing something. I forget what it was. And all these adult magazines fell out of the ceiling. And it was like bizarre because I'm just like, we had lived in this house at this point for like, what, 15 years, 10 years at this point, and all of a sudden they just fell out. Do you really think that they were our father's magazines or the previous owner's magazines? I'm saying they were his.
They were absolutely his.
And
I
he
mean,
lied.
why would he put them up in the
Because he hid them. Because guess what? He put them when they were thrown in the trash. They were dug out the next day.
Yeah, they were like
Ew.
kept back in. I'm like,
They were back in. They were put in the shed.
so they dropped from the ceiling all these adult magazines. He's like, oh, they're not mine. They're not mine. But then they're brought back in the house the next day, and they just now are hidden in a new spot. What did you feel in that moment when that happened? Were you okay? Like, that is bizarre. I'm like, just own it. Say you have these magazines.
I don't think that I got all like in an uproar about it. It was a little
offsetting,
yeah,
putting to you, yeah.
And I was like, you can throw them out, like, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm saying hell no on this because I just feel like you shouldn't be even dating somebody who has a drop ceiling in 2025 at this point and should not have access to hard copies of X-rated material because to me...
Do they even make them anymore?
Yeah.
Do they even make magazines like that anymore?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Jordan's given it a green check.
I always support someone who like is supportive of the print magazine industry because it's a dying industry and we need to save it. So if they're doing that, then you know, keep flicking through the pages, my man.
And flicking something else. Keep flicking through the pages and something else while you're doing it. Okay, Brett, you're giving it a green go. Why is that?
Because like the drop ceiling, I understand maybe that's a little bit of a red flag, but I understand it being like embarrassed, but like, oh, they must. I understand that, and I think that like obviously it's a normal thing for someone to do. So I don't think that's you can judge someone off that. I think that's
I can't believe that you guys are even like contemplate. Like she's in a basement with someone that has a drop ceiling. Like that to me is where mom should not be there. Period. So what's the new mom move? Call out the lie, clean the ceiling, and clean your hands of him. What are you doing with this?
Laugh it off.
Okay, you're laughing it off. So you're giving it a green.
I'm going to give it a green because I think I'm just going to laugh it off and then watch what to look out for.
She's going to be searching the house.
Yeah.
I'm going to be looking at it. She's going to open the oven.
Mattresses. Like maybe see what he's watching on TV. Like I'll be a little bit more, you know,
investigative. Okay.
Well, now that he has Barb, he should have less use for those now.
Yeah,
exactly.
This is where we add the disclaimer like they do on health commercials.
These situations are purely coincidental. If they mirror any real life situations, just know that the situations in real life did not cause any long-term damage except for emotional trauma, PTSD,
severe
anxiety, and depression. A general, and there was probably asbestos in that drop ceiling.
That was our WTF Would Mom Do? What did we think? I'm kind of proud of Barb's answers.
Thanks.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm glad she's learned from them and not
the old her.
Did you guys think I'd be like, oh, I'm okay with that?
The goal of this game was to see how much of the Captain Save-A-Ho was still in there. Because we know Barb loves the Captain Save-A-Ho moment.
Yeah.
So to me, it was like, okay, maybe that little ounce of her is still in there, and I'm proud of you. To me, that was an A+. Like you have moved past it. So a little.
I agree.
Clap to Barb.
Whoop whoop.
What did you think of your first time on the Hold On, I'm Calling My Mom podcast?
It was fun.
Will you come back?
Yeah, I'll come back whenever you guys need me to come back. You know, it's kind of a commute for me to get to the studio. But...
Well, thanks for coming on, you two. I love you guys.
Of course, love you
Thanks
too.
for having me.
I loved having them on. I'm like, we've been really good with like Judy, Brett, and Jordy. Like this is, I love all these people along this journey with you.
That was fun. Yeah, I liked having them on. Yeah,
Okay.
it just felt like a regular night, either here or there when we're all sitting around.
What we're gonna do in the Poconos on our trip. So that's exactly what we would do.
Yeah, like that's literally what we do. Yeah, we sit and talk and
Keep it real.
Fine.
Sometimes some feelings
Yeah.
are hurt, but honesty is the best policy and within this family. So we gotta keep it honest with everybody. And
Yeah.
we gotta support and applaud growth because I am very proud of you in that game. You showcased a lot of tremendous growth and changes, which we love to see and we're all about on the Hold On, I'm Calling My Mom podcast. So
Thank you.
well, so I said I'm sick of talking about you. Like we got it, Barb, but like everybody loves you. You're the star of the podcast. But I couldn't help but to think, as you know, we've been going along talking about you dating and your journey, is I have to run it back for our next segment to talk about a dating mishap that your stories have made me think that I need to share this story and we need to relive this. So let's run it back. So it made me think.
How far are we running it back?
We're running it back to a couple of years. So this is pre-Jordy.
Okay.
This is when I really solidified that I wanted to get a therapist. I wanted to be the person in our family to break generational traumas and cycles. And I was adamant about finding a therapist, right? No one really sets you up for success with these things. It's kind of like dating or anything else. You just got to put yourself out there,
Right.
do a little digging and hope for the best and kind of build a relationship with somebody, right? So my therapist at the time, when I started doing this, I just had gotten out of a relationship with my ex-boyfriend and I started seeing somebody. It was new for me to discuss these things because I was so used to being with somebody. So it was like a new time. It was very like a vulnerable state, you know, because it was new things I was learning about myself and new things that I was seeing about somebody and probably red flags that I should have ran away from very early on. But, you know, we take sometimes our own pace to get to where we need to be.
Yeah.
And, you know, something about this therapist, and I have to disclaim, I always want a gay therapist, and I'm big on that because I think it's very insightful and helpful to have somebody who has not walked in your shoes, but in some way, shape, or form can relate to your upbringing, your stories, and have a sense of what it's like to function as somebody in society that is a minority. And to me, that was finding a gay therapist.
Yeah, I agree.
I felt like this therapist was very much like inquisitive about more of like the sexual components about like my new single life and like what that looked like. And it never felt like creepy, but it felt like living vicariously through me for a little bit. And I remember I just was like really wondering about, you know, why they were kind of invested. It was like, I would just share more and more with my therapist about this guy that I was seeing. And it was like, he wanted to know more. And as I was like continuing to talk, I started thinking, let me like look on social media and just see like, you know, listen, LA is small. The gay population's even smaller. We're all connected.
It's funny because you don't think it's small because you think it's LA and everybody, but it's small.
No, it's small.
It's small.
So I looked up this therapist and saw that the guy that I was seeing was friends with him on a social media platform. And I was like, wow, okay, this is now like 5 sessions in where I probably have shared a lot. And at that time, I know I was sharing a lot because I was the writing force of a big part of what was happening in my life.
Right.
And I was like, okay, this is starting to make me think, is this person invested? Because I showed pictures of this person that I was seeing to my therapist. I showed him, he was asking what the sex was like, asking questions like that. So I thought, being the person that I am, that now that this has gone on for too long, I saw with my own eyes that they were friends on social media, to bring it to the guy that I was seeing to say, hey, really random, but I ran into a friend of a friend and I met this guy. I did not set it up that it was my therapist to him. And I said, oh, and he said he knew you. I said, do you know who he is? And he said, oh yeah, we hooked up in the past. I'm sorry, what?
Another therapist.
You remember this story?
Yeah. Yeah, of course I do.
I have not had a great track record with therapists, and I don't know why and what energy I'm putting out there, but it's a little alarming. How in the hell am I supposed to feel safe divulging my sexual encounters with a person that my therapist has hooked up with? So me and my therapist are Eskimo sisters. We slept with the same person. But the craziest part to it is that I'm not telling the guy at the time that I was seeing that my therapist is somebody he hooked up with. But I said, oh, like how long ago? It was like last year before me. My therapist was sleeping with the guy that I was seeing while I was seeing this guy as my therapist in the past.
In the past. Mm-hmm.
The overlap is crazy.
Yeah.
So I was like,
another one bit the dust.
I was really like, that to me was the first blow of my therapist journey of knowing like, listen, these people are just as flawed and sometimes you can't get the one that you think you're going to get. But that was an immediate, like, I'm out and I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And that was my first hurt with therapy where I knew that some of these bitches cannot be trusted. That is crazy.
That was crazy. Yeah.
My therapist was sleeping with the person that I was sleeping with. What the hell? You can't make this up.
I cannot.
I'm like, you're supposed to be helping me.
I think he was helping himself.
He clearly was helping himself. So I'm like, girl, were you pressed on the guy that I was with that you're still asking him? Like, to me, that's crazy. That's crazy work.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So from the therapist with the porn, the therapist sleeping with somebody that I slept with the therapist who was taking my calls in the hospital room because I'm like, what? I can't. The therapist and me aren't aligning. So this is all to be said that I've actually put a pause on my therapy journey and I've decided to start working possibly with a life coach.
Yes.
And we're hopeful that this happens. And we can laugh about this now. Everybody, don't feel bad for me that happened. It's okay. Yeah. We can laugh about it on the podcast now. It was quite some years ago. I'm starting to think that all these things adding up now that I'm taking a step back, that traditional therapy might not be the track for me to continue pursuing.
It might have ran its course.
Yeah. I think I maybe need to make go down a detour and see where that takes me.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
But you remember the time that I called you and I told you that you were like, you were like, I think you need to.
Yeah, that was a conversation.
You literally were like, I think you need to pull the plug on this therapist.
Yes, of course. What was I going to say? Continue.
I mean, girl, your past, you would have been like, maybe he didn't mean it. Maybe it happened by accident.
He means well.
That's what they all say at this point.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
But here we are on the Hold On, I'm Calling My Mom podcast with the person that I love, being able to share our stories. And what better way to really overcome trauma than to laugh about it and have a podcast with your mom to talk shit about it, right?
Period.
I think people are going to walk away with that one and feel like that completely took a turn of where we were today on the podcast. So I want to leave everybody with Barb's sex playlist of Luther Vandross, Marvin Gaye, and Matchbox 20, and my therapist and me sleeping with the same person at one point. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Hold On, I'm Calling My Mom podcast. Thanks for tuning in to Barb's dating journey and tuning in every week. I love you guys. I love doing this with my mom, my brother, my boyfriend, all the amazing guests that we have on. Please, if you're not following us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, liking us and subscribing to us on YouTube. We drop a new episode every Monday at 10 a.m. PST, 1 p.m. EST. Please write into us with suggestions at Hold On, I'm Calling My Mom podcast at gmail.com if you want to get in on the conversation. And just please keep supporting, listening, leaving us a 5-star review and sharing to a friend. Keep getting the word out. And we just can't thank you guys enough for just letting us do what we love to do, which is talk our shit and get over trauma and have our therapy sessions for you guys to listen in and think of what a shit show it is. But we're all in it together. So thank you, everybody. Love you guys. Mom, take it away.
All right. I'm hanging up now. Bye.
Call you later. Love you.
Call you later. Love you.